In this video, it's a Citroen Mehari, but a very different one. For it is electric. Hubnut, sponsored by Lancaster Insurance. So here I am on an industrial estate near Warminster with a French-built Citroen Mehari Electrique, known as the Eden by Mehari Club Cassis, who build these. It is actually brand new. It's all new parts, new body, chassis, running gear, and they have everything on the shelf, and it is electric powered. We've got the wheels fitted to the Mehari Azure and the Ami Super, slotted wheels, standard chassis at the front. Things get a bit different around the back, where we can find a battery box hiding at the rear. The rear of the chassis quite different on these, but like I say, it is a brand new car. You could buy one for £26,000, and we'll talk a bit more about what the Mehari actually is once we're underway. But in short, the Mehari was a plastic bodied Jeep style vehicle based on a Diane chassis with the rear legs cut down at the back. There was a time I wondered about converting Ellie into a Mehari when her body got completely rotten, because this is ABS plastic over a steel space frame, and that's a foot place to allow you to get into the back. Not today though. Obviously the seat folds down as well for maximum Jeepability. We should probably start with a look at the engine. Right, we've gone all roadkill and got the hood off, so we can have a good peer in the engine bay. So here is the motor, shared with a Zero motorbike made in America and governed to 15 kilowatts for homologation reasons in France. You can see standard 2CV gearbox with the inboard disc brakes, getting nice and wet today, and you've got a manual gearbox, but like many electric conversions, you just leave it in third really. And there's another look at the brakes. Very good they are too on these. So yeah, that's all your charger gubbins. This all differs very slightly from the actual production. This is actually a development car, as I say, so it's a little bit different, but nonetheless very, very interesting. So yeah, the interesting stuff's under the bonnet, but inside it's all very standard. Note this simple handle to get in, and the very flappy nature of the doors. So standard Mehari interior, apart from the dials, which are a bit different. Notice we've got chains, because if you take all the weather gear off, including the doors, you need something to stop you falling out. Some Meharis did have separate little doors to go down here. This one has got proper weather gear. I mean, clearly this is a vehicle designed for the south of France, not rainy industrial estates in England. Speedometer is in kilometers, so it goes up to 120, but the French homologation deems a 50 mile an hour maximum all you can do. But I think probably about time we went for a drive. But let's start with a jump aboard. Oh. And we shall close the door. You'll love this, if the door will actually close in the wind. This is how you secure it. That's it. That holds the door shut. As you can see, there is some mild gappage, and that should be on the outside really to stop the rain coming in. There we go. And yeah, lots of zips and stuff and Velcro, all manner of stuff. But one issue I'm going to have is I'd normally stick my mount to the side window. That's not going to work, so I'm going to have to talk to you from the windscreen today. We'll take in the driving position, which is distinctly odd. The wheel is canted quite high up. The pedals are offset to the right hand side. So yeah, all a bit strange. We've got a standard 2CV gear lever. So that's first, push it, ping, into second, back out for third, and a twist, and you're into fourth. But we only need third, which is there today. So that's going to be us, good to go. There's somewhere for the passenger to hold on, which is good because you don't want to fall out through the gaps. And yeah, otherwise so far so different. They are remarkably interesting things. You get better switches on one of these, it must be said. I'll just wait for it to wake itself up. There we go, clink. We've got push switches. But yeah, the wiper motor isn't far away, so you can hear it ever so much. Got indicator stalk here, which is the same as a 2CV but hidden in there somewhere, so we just get the stalk. Oh, it's got the clacker on the stalk, beautiful. Got headlights over here, so that's our high beam, I think. I'm not sure the warning's working for that, but there we go. And yeah, there's our gauge. So we've got a battery gauge over here showing 99% at the moment. The range should be in the region, what was it, 10 or 11 hour battery pack. So you're talking 50 or 60 miles really if you don't hoof it all the time. But look, we've even got fresh air ventilation, which might be useful today because we have no demisting at all. None. So yeah. Right, I'm going to get my mount mounted and we should go for a drive. Right, I've managed to find you a spot where you can actually see what's going on, but I can't talk to you very much, so you'll have to bear with. Into reverse, handbrake off. Now, one thing I must say before we get underway, this is a development vehicle. This is one of 3 development vehicles they built. And so you will notice, into third, it is a bit juddery as we pull away. It shouldn't... Ooh, interesting. There we go. Ooh, 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 ooh. Yeah, I don't think the misting is going to be a problem because there is so much air coming in as we drive along. Now, one of the more interesting things about this conversion is the weight distribution is now 50-50 because there is so much weight in the back. I don't know whether they've had to beef up the springing or what, but we'll go and see what a difference that makes out on the road. Make sure I've got my flaps fastened. We're doing 30 kilometers an hour and it's flapping already. Oh dear, there we go. Right, shall we try a slightly different position? Let's see if you stay with us on this one. Always the biggest problem in my life is trying to get cameras to actually stay where they should be. We're still in third, so I need to take handbrake off, check there's no one about, and away we go. Magnificent clack, no need to use the clutch pedal, and away we go. That is all of the beans. That's 60 kilometers. And while the wind is flapping around quite ridiculously, it's still quieter than if it had an engine. Now there's not a very strong regen. I don't know if it does regenerative braking, I will check that. But not a very strong regen effect, so when you lift off it isn't over inclined to slow down. Oh, we're touching 70 kilometers. So in terms of acceleration, I'd say the acceleration is pretty close to standard, maybe a bit more. Certainly much more than you'd normally get in third gear. And it's worth remembering that while the motor is only putting out 15 kilowatts of power, it's got 5 times the torque of a standard 2CV engine. Torque being what you really miss in a 2CV, and why I went for a slightly bigger engine on mine when I rebuilt it. But if you can try and picture what it would be like driving around the south of France, then yeah, I think this would be much happier there. Rear brakes are honking a bit. I shall give you a better view, I think, because I can't really talk to you while you're a backseat passenger, so hold on a moment. Right, let's go and have a bit more of a pootle. We're still in third, handbrake off, check all around, accelerate. I like this quite a lot. I mean, I know it's a bit rough around the edges being a development model, but this is good fun. And the 0 to 40 is pretty good actually. We're able to zing along quite merrily. Go and see if we can find a town to do some town driving. I'm sorry you're wobbling around quite a lot, but Maharis do that. It's a bit frustrating in a way because for the UK there are different requirements. I think you could open up a lot more power. So here we go, going into a 50 limit. Let's see if we can do it. Very nearly. The ergonomics aren't ideal in the Mahari. The switches are all a bit of a stretch away. But you're not going to worry about the gear change and the ridiculous position of the clutch because you don't need them. In terms of ride, it rides very nicely, and I can't help thinking that spreading out of the weight helps there. Yeah, we're struggling to do 70 kilometers an hour up a very slight hill, so yeah. Wow, a Cadillac STS. Ooh. I would be going faster than this if it had a normal engine. I believe the actual production ones do have fast charging. They don't have rapid charging, but they will have an onboard charger that will let you charge up to full in about 3 or 4 hours. This one would probably take more like 8 or 10. Oh yeah, that torque is woohoo! Yeah, she picks up well. And the handling's just as you'd expect, really. Certainly doesn't seem to have destroyed the handling that these cars are famous for. Rumble strips. Been treated to the beautiful smells of Warminster sewage works, I think. Now I really am disliking the amount of ventilation in here. So the Mahari, as I was starting to say earlier, is a plastic bodied Jeep style or Moke style vehicle, ABS plastic on a steel space frame on a Diane chassis with chopped off rear legs. And they did sell in reasonable numbers. The French military took some. They even developed a 4x4 version for the French military, which didn't have 2 engines like the Sahara. It just had a very complicated gearbox that enabled you to send drive to all 4 wheels. But yeah, they're not the most practical of vehicles with these flappy doors and everything, but perhaps good fun. And this is really where this is more at home, is pottering around the town. speed humps. Shouldn't be too much bother. No, we can float over those. So yeah, in terms of range, probably around 50 or 60 miles, especially if you were just pottering around town like this. If you got your foot flat to the floor, probably less. I'm not yet feeling the lack of a heater, but it wouldn't take much more of a temperature drop to make you feel quite cold indeed. And at the moment, Mahari Club Cassis are building about 30 of these a year, so that's not bad. And like I say, they're able to sell them as brand new vehicles with the French homologation. I was looking for my sat nav then, but I haven't got one, and I'm talking to you. So come to stop, nice and silent, apart from the delicious clack of the indicator. Lovely steering. Yeah, the steering is much lighter because there is so much less weight at the front. Honk. Yeah, 2CV brakes do honk a bit when they're cold and damp. So certainly this is a car that stands out a bit in this lurid colour. No idea where I'm going, so let's go this way. It's surprisingly peaceful actually. I was expecting more transmission noise, but whether Cassis have done something to quieten that down, or maybe 2CVs just make more engine noise than I realised, and I can't blame as much of it on the transmission as I thought. No reason why I can't go for fourth. Still feels quite lively, even in fourth gear. Oh, that's a sharp bend. Body rolling. This feels a lot of fun. I mean, it'd be no good for me because I'm prone to going on ridiculously long adventures in my A-series vehicles. But if you wanted something fun for pottering about, but is easy to maintain, then this has to be ideal. And it's got a far better roll cage than the original Maharis. So you can have people in the back, there's proper seatbelts for them, it's all good. Oh, the wind noise is epic. Oh yeah, now I can do 50. Oh, slightly over in fact. Probably shouldn't tell the French government that. So yeah, I'm visiting 2CV Shop today. 2CV Shop is a UK agent for Mahari Club Cassis. So like I say, this is a development car from Mahari Club Cassis. They're right down in the south of France, and it's been bought up specially for lunatics like me to have a hoon around it. So thank you Darren at 2CV Shop for letting me have this opportunity. It's been very interesting. Really, Maharis are ridiculous vehicles. All goes nice and quiet apart from the car next to us. And the clack of the indicators. Here we go. Fourth gear acceleration. Bit steadier. Now it's getting into its stride. It's a bit windy, I'm having to hang on a bit. Whoa! I shall give you a slightly different view because from this one you can now see the flapping bonnet. That's us up to 60 kilometers. We're back in third gear again now. There's a truck bearing down on us. Exciting times. Yes, I would like a little more performance. I don't like holding the trucks up. They've got a job to do. Oh, I've got trucks queuing up to get past me now. Brakes are good. Yes, I can keep up with a Renault Traffic that's stuck behind a lorry. Oh, horrible stench of diesel fumes. Whereas of course my vehicle allows me to be smug and superior, for it is zero emission at point of use. Felt like I was running out of revs on an electric motor. It actually seems happier going uphill in 4th gear, which is a bit peculiar if you ask me. Yeah, life aboard is quite interesting. I mean, look at our door gap. And I mean, everything's moving around anyway, but when trucks come past it gets flappier. The whole car rocks. Still, it's an experience. And of course, because there is no heater, then it doesn't affect the range because you can't turn it on. Does that count as a positive? Can I just say, no, I am not taking the roof off this time. For a start, it'd take hours and then I'd get soaked. What's amusing is, despite all the gaps everywhere, it's drier in here than it is inside my Mazda. Sorry that was off camera, but I just managed to do 110 downhill kilometers. That's a genuine like 60 miles an hour. That's quite impressive. It's amazing how relaxing it is once you get a bit of a cruise on. I mean, it doesn't like hills because the motor isn't allowed to give all its power. But they are talking about doing a kit that you can put into a 2CV, and that would not need to be restricted because it wouldn't be an entirely new vehicle. I don't think you could do that in France. I don't think you're allowed, but here and in the Netherlands you are allowed to electric convert classics. That's quite intriguing. Still horribly expensive, I'm sure. But yeah, we're cruising along at 80-90 kilometers an hour at the moment in 4th gear. Absolutely fine. I think I need a Mahari in my life. Oh, we're going for range anxiety. It's a bit blowy up here, good grief. 15%, the low charge warning is on. That's okay, I think we've only got a few miles to go. Be fine. 14%. Yeah. Unfortunately, the display is in kilometers, so I'm not actually sure how far I've driven today. But I've had a good run around, because if you get the opportunity, you've got to, really, haven't you? Oh, we're down to 10%. 9. I was wondering if it'd go into a limp mode. Not yet. I think we've probably only done about 40 miles, but it has been foot to the floor for pretty much all of it. 8%. I mean, my foot's to the floor right now. because I want to get there quickly before the battery runs out. But I've really enjoyed this 7%. This has been yeah, really interesting. I shall put all the details below. Don't forget 2CV Power Less is More hoodies. Oh, we've just made it back. Will be available soon, if not already. And yeah, thank you very much for watching. Oh, got back up to 8% there. Turn the wipers off. Yeah, this has been something a bit different, but yeah, I do like my electric vehicles. So thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget there's the bell icon next to the subscribe button below the video, depending on where you're watching. That'll get you notified every time there's a new video. And yeah, thank you very much, and I shall see you in a future video. Farewell.